It's no secret to anybody how I feel about the Leadership Summit. I've often described it as my birthday, Christmas, New Year's party, and wedding anniversary all going on at once. The gathering together of tens of thousands of leaders all over the world for the purpose of having God sharpen their leadership and rock their lives is about the coolest event I could conceive of. This coming August will be our 20th Leadership Summit. I remember like it was yesterday, right where I was sitting in a little restaurant in South Haven, Michigan, I finally was gaining clarity that pretty much everything rises and falls on leadership. Or as I've been saying it in recent years, everybody wins when a leader gets better. Absolutely everybody wins. I remember thinking 20 years ago, what if I were to take 2 days during my summer vacation? Parenthetically, someone asked me recently, why do you do this thing in August? And I said, because I didn't want to test fly something on the church's time, so I used personal vacation time to test fly the first summit, and then it just got stuck there and we never changed it to a better time. But what if we took 2 days in August, put a faculty of fantastic leaders together, and then trained and inspired anybody who would be willing to come? I thought, what would that be like? I knew of no such conference of its type in the world. And I thought, let's just give this a whirl. And from the opening session of that first summit, and I was standing right here in this Lakeside Auditorium 20 years ago for the opening session, I think all of us in leadership felt God's favor mysteriously, supernaturally, sort of descending on that gathering. There's no better way that I could describe it, just God's favor falling on the summit. 20 years later, now in over 100 countries, approaching 200,000 attenders, who could have ever imagined this? Certainly not me. These days, people stop me all over the world, and they tell me they never miss a summit. And sometimes to have fun, I'll say, why is that? You have nothing better to do with your time. And then they'll say things like this. They'll say, I learn more in 2 days than I do in months of floundering around on my own. They say it's like drinking a leadership concentrate drink, and it fills them to overflowing. Other people will say they love the variety of the faculty. Stanford and Harvard profs, business and corporate legends, presidents of NGOs, former presidents of countries, pastors, government leaders. They'll say the summit taught me that if I'm hungry enough as a leader, I can learn from almost anybody. That's a valuable lesson for every leader to learn. Often people tell me that what they love most about the summit is not that it's just intellectually rigorous, but it's high challenge. It's high intensity. A guy in London told me recently, I come to the summit every year to get my bell rung. And he says it happens every single year. And it's really true. Leaders need to have their bell rung once in a while. Most of us get on mission, we put our heads down, and we really stay focused. And every once in a while, we've got to come up for air, open ourselves up to the work of God, hear people we normally wouldn't hear from, and then get our bell rung. One of the long list of reasons that I love the summit is that it gives all summit attenders a common leadership language. One of the reasons I love having thousands of Willow Creek people at the Global Summit is that we learn to talk a common language. We talk regularly these days about box 1, box 2, box 3 from VJ's talk at the last summit. We talk about having the right people on the bus, 20-mile marches from Jim Collins. We use the Jack Welch quote quite a bit. The kindest form of management is the truth. The kindest form of management is the truth. We talk about moving people from here to there. And you don't start by describing there, you start by convincing people why you can't stay here. It's powerful to have the whole core of your church or your organization speaking the exact same leadership language because it's like shorthand and you all know what's going on.